Hey everybody, Elliot here with another Prismata update. This is mostly a dev update to talk a little bit about the software and some things we've been doing. Last night we pushed live probably the biggest update we've ever done. It's sort of the first update since Kickstarter ended. About a month of work, mostly behind the scenes stuff on improving the game, improving the underlying build structure, stuff like that. And a lot of big things went in. The AI has been completely changed. We actually entirely changed how the AI works and how it's compiled. We used to use a compiler called Crossbridge, which compiles the AI from C++ to ActionScript bytecode and runs it in Flash. Now we're using Enscripten, which compiles it to JavaScript and runs it in a separate JavaScript process or worker in the browser. So that's entirely changed. And some people are saying the AI is not working for them at all now. Some people are saying it didn't work, but then when they reloaded, it did, which might indicate that there was some problem loading the JavaScript. Basically, we're expecting there might be a few issues, and we didn't have any on our side. Like, we all tested it, but there may be some specific like browser issues that happen for some people, and we're definitely going to be getting on top of those. There was an issue where it wasn't working for some of the missions, and that's been fixed. So the AI should be good now. We sped up the software a lot, both on the client and the server side. The actual like server CPU usage is down to about 25% of what it used to be, which means we can have like 4 times as many people on the server, which is really good. A bunch of things with dynamic loading. The actual file size of Prismata is 1/3 of what it used to be, and a lot of the assets and images and stuff are now streamed to you as you need them. So it may change a bit how some of the loading behavior works, but we also were having caching problems before where Prismata was so big that browsers were refusing to cache it. So now it should always get cached. You should never have to wait to watch a replay or anything like that. So that should be a lot better. And there's like many other small updates we did, just like things like adding a draw icon in the replay menu, adding hotkeys to design a game, stuff like that. There's a list you can find if you click the news tab in Prismata, and there's a link at the top where you can click the full list of changes, and it shows you everything we did. Also, a lot of individual bug fixes and tons of other small things. So that went live last night. There were a few issues with the deployment. There was a number of things. Like people were having the wrong rating displayed, and that was due to something that got fixed in the wrong branch. So we didn't we actually didn't put out the right version of the server code because Alexei fixed that in his own private branch and forgot to commit it to the main branch that we were deploying. And so we thought all that stuff was working. It turns out it wasn't. There were some issues with like the friends list not showing up. That ended up turning out to be due to certain options not loading correctly. And that again was something that was fixed in the wrong branch and got rebroken again. So yeah, we kind of messed that up. Most of it we figured out. The one thing that was really funny that happened was everybody got access to all of the emotes for a few hours. And this was actually just something we didn't catch on our test server. Because we do have a separate test server. It runs all of the Prismata code, and we always deploy to the test server first, make sure everything's okay. We don't have full like quality assurance teams working on this, but we do ourselves try to do a pretty good job of making sure nothing's obviously broken. But this one with the emotes has slipped by, and basically what happened is everybody was getting access to everyone's emotes. And in fact, like people were getting the message, you have access to Salt Shaker emote. They were getting it like 30 times. They were getting it once for every person. And, it was just a little one-line bug in the code, and we fixed it. But it was kind of funny. Everybody had all the emotes for a while. And sometimes stuff like that just slips through and we don't notice it. The AI being broken on missions 4 and above. We just, nobody tested it. We tested, AI seems to work in missions. Nobody tried mission 4. We weren't really sure why it worked in missions 1 to 3 and not mission 4. The JavaScript was just like vomiting for some reason when we passed it something. And, we did eventually figure it out. It's been fixed. But, sometimes we rely on you guys, our players, to find these things. And we could take twice as long for every update and really try hard to make sure things are golden, or we could spend a lot of money hiring quality assurance people. But right now we don't want to do either of those things. And In the future, when we have an actual build out and when the game's actually released, we will be making sure everything's in tip-top form before it goes out to the public. But for now, while we're in alpha, it's probably going to be like this, at least for a little while, where when a new version comes out, there might be a few little things that need tweaking, and we will do our best to try and fix them as fast as possible. You know, I stayed up pretty late last night just trying to make sure everything was okay. There are still a few known issues, which I can mention now. There's an issue with some wins and losses being wrong in the replay listing. That's, again, something that was fixed but isn't fixed in the main version yet, and we're going to have to do another server restart to fix it. So we'll do that at some point today. The leaderboard doesn't update, same thing. Facebook login doesn't work at all. It's actually been broken for a while. I'm not really sure why. We're going to look into that today. The other thing I wanted to mention is this isn't all of the changes we've been working on in the last month. We actually have a bunch of new features, but we're going to put them in a bit later once everything's sort of ironed out in this release. So we are going to have the build your own Prismata unit set. We're going to have the ability to observe the top game going on right now. We're going to put in badges. That may come about this week. Maybe next week we'll have some new units in the game. I'm really excited for that. And hopefully soon, within the next month or so, we're going to have arena mode, we're going to have skins, we're going to have a casual mode. Because right now, basically, the only way you can play without playing against your friends is play on the ladder. But we are going to add a casual mode. We're going to add lots more emotes and the ability to unlock stuff as you keep playing. We're working on a new website. I don't know how long that's going to take, but it'll be done eventually. Anyways, I guess that's about all for this update. If you're still having issues with any bugs that I didn't mention in the new build that we just put out last night, please send the bug reports. We do read all of them, and there'll be a bunch of fixes going in the next couple of days. And hopefully by the weekend, everything will be stable and we'll be able to add that new stuff. But until the next one, I will talk to you guys later, and see you around.